I don't know what to say. I'll let you take it away. That's obviously the story of the game right there, the goaltender for Trail.
Yeah, it's just having to re-listen to that. It's kind of painful, but hey, give Kiefer a lot of credit. He, he had a tough game against Westside a couple nights ago, and you knew, being a veteran guy, that he was going to bounce back and have a really strong performance. And I thought we did a great job early on of getting a lot of traffic to the net and making life difficult for him. He's a battler, and he found a way. I mean, I think some of lucky bounces. I thought we had 3 that could have been goals, and maybe had it gone in if we had a video review or something. But it was just, everything was that close tonight, and hey, I can't fault our guys' effort, that's for sure.
Well, if you reflect back to the beginning of the game, despite the fact that it was 3-0 in the first 10 minutes, I don't think you guys showed any rust after the Christmas break.
No, there was a couple of little things, but for the most part, I was pretty impressed with our ability to move the puck, our physical play. A lot of guys really, I thought, played some of their best games. You look at Sylvan Harper, Sean Maktak, Brett Fletcher. I thought those type of guys were tremendous. So I don't know what it was they did over the break, but they obviously came back with a vengeance. And, it's one of those games. We can't hang our heads. I know in looking at their coaches' reactions leaving the bench, they weren't very happy with the game. So,
well, that's what I said. I don't think any member of the Trail Smoke Eaters, unless your name is Smiley, can be happy with that game. Obviously, Kiefer's not going to be happy with his teammates either. But the way that game started off, probably the worst possible start for you guys. Anyone looking at the scoreboard would have thought, there's the Merritt Rust. But you look at the first goal, Lino probably should have had it. The second goal, a very lucky break on a bounce in front. And the third one, a great play by their top line. But, again, there's not really much you guys could be blamed on for that. And the rebound after that from your team obviously weren't affected whatsoever by the 3 goals against in the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was, I looked at Chad there after the third one, and I thought, they have 4 shots on net and 3 goals, and we have 15 or something like that. And it was just difficult because I thought the guys were really playing well, and they might have spent 3 minutes in our end and had 3 goals. And I no doubt that Lino would like to have the first one back. Like you said, the second one's a funny bounce. The third one's a good play. And it's not by any means is it Lino's fault. We just felt, hey, tonight he wasn't getting the breaks, and maybe he had a little bit of rust. He's had a lot of travel in the last 2 days, and give Tyler the opportunity to get in, and Tyler did a good job.
Yeah, Tyler Steele didn't have to do too much work, but you look at some of the plays that he did. Breaking up was a 3-on-1 at one point with a poke check, and he still made the big stops to give you guys a chance to come back in it the whole time. Yeah, those are really tough games to be in as a goaltender, and I think even for Lino, that's something that we, I've talked with Jamie, our goalie coach, about is Lino's a guy that likes to be involved, and if he has 30 or around 30 shots a night, it's usually a really good thing for him. And you look at our last game at home against Trail, and he only faced 17 shots and let in 2, and one of them was because he was trying to get himself involved and misplayed a puck. And trying to keep him calm and keep him composed, and in games where we're dominating, we just need him to make the simple, easy save and not ask for a lot more. So it's something we'll continue to work with. You talked about guys having their best game of the season. The fourth and third line, again, so good. I'm pretty sure that was the most ice time the fourth line has ever seen, and it's no coincidence, I assume. Well, and we've been talking to guys, and we've had some meetings here since we got back from Christmas with everybody. And like I say to some of these guys, I wish you didn't have to draw lines in a hierarchical type of way where, it's one above the other, above the other, above the other. I mean, I essentially see our group as 4 lines across the top, and whoever's going that night is going to play. I mean, we've obviously keyed on some guys that we want to play in our power play and special teams, and because you can only work with so many guys at a time in practice. But I thought Blaine and Harper and Maktak were tremendous tonight and created the most offense as a group. And they, for the most part, were playing a lot of minutes against the St. Denis, Mellor, Jacqueline line, and completely outworked them, the entire night. Well, I want to talk about that, actually, because you matched up the fourth line versus their first line quite a few times, and it seemed like they won that battle almost every time. Absolutely. There was no contest. It just comes down to work ethic, and those 3 guys took a lot of pride in it. I told them before the game, I said, hey, I'm going to start you every period against that line and whenever we can, and just wear them down. And it's a line that likes to take really long shifts, so we felt that if Blaine's line could go out there and wear them down for 45 seconds, a minute, we like to change quick and wear them down for 45 and change, and we reply with Jeff's line, and we thought we'd be able to catch them a little tired. And
I thought we created a lot of good opportunities from it, and unfortunately, we ran into a brick wall.
Well, like you mentioned, the first 3 goals, you guys had 12 shots. They had 4 shots, and that's the way that kind of went. You guys were still the better team at that point. But after that, the last 50 minutes of the game, the next 50 minutes of the game, looked like it was complete, utter domination, and Tyler Steele didn't have much work at all. Was it a snowball effect of confidence? Because each and every line that came out seemed to continue the momentum that the other line built.
Yeah, and that's what we've really been focusing on is, the game is, it's not about, you don't just go out and score a goal out of the blue. Sometimes you will, like they did tonight, but for the most part, you can see goals coming, and it starts with a good, hard, physical shift down low, and then it's another shift where you're getting chances, and then usually a shift, either you're going to draw a power play or you're going to score a goal. So we did a really good job of following up on the line before us effort, and we had LeBrun left the game early. Fletcher had 5 minutes in the box. Harper ended up leaving the game in the last 5-6 minutes. So we a lot of guys had to play a lot of minutes, and they did a tremendous job.
I know that Harper took the high stick at the end there that wasn't called, but Dustin LeBrun, give us an update on him, because he went down hard behind the bench there and didn't come back.
Yeah, Dustin, he's going hard for a puck and against a big guy in Jake Baker, and some hits tonight that I don't know. I shake my head with a lot of things that happen right now, and we saw a penalty called against Jeff Jones for lifting somebody's stick.
Right.
And
I wasn't sure about that play. That's what I thought happened there.
If you're going to call those, I have no problem, but call them all. And then we got elbows, we got hits to the head, we got Dustin LeBrun. The way the rules, as far as I understand, in the junior A supplement, if a guy gets hit and he hurts his head, it's a penalty. It's a penalty, regardless if it was, considered clean or not. And Dustin's got possibly a broken nose. He's got a wrecked ankle, perhaps. And, we got Harper with a split mouth and broken tooth. And but you get a penalty for lifting a stick. It just boggles my mind.
Well, that's exactly what I was mentioning in the broadcast. But when you look at what your team did, you should have drawn a lot more penalties than you did. When you outshoot a team 51-15, you would think the power plays would go a lot more in your favor. Overall, even though there were some missed calls, it seemed like you guys were doing everything to the book. Going to the front of the net and creating traffic and all that stuff was perfect tonight.
And that was the really frustrating part. And the referee came over to both coaches after the first period, and he told us, look, I didn't think I did that bad. Both coaches were apparently angry, and he said, I didn't think I did that bad of a job in the period, and I just, let's start fresh. Maybe I missed some calls, but let's start fresh and, calm down a little bit. I said, hey, that's no problem. I understand. And then all of a sudden, there was nothing called from there on out. And like you said, if nothing's going to be called and it's an even game back and forth, I'm happy with that. I love it when they let guys play. But when you're spending 95% of your time in the opponent's end, there's got to be some calls, and there's got to be some holds, some hooks, and it was just like, when we were losing, we were getting penalties, and then all of a sudden we start bringing it back, and he doesn't call any the other way. So I was really frustrated with a lot of things from the officiating tonight, and I don't like to usually go on about them, but it's just the way I feel. It's
mind-boggling to take a look at your road record right now, and the loss tonight had absolutely nothing to do with it being a road game, but you drop now to 4-14 on a couple overtime losses there. But as a whole, I said throughout the game, this was probably the best game that I've called, the most consistent, dominant game in my 3 years on the job. Not just the best road game this season, but I thought it was way better than the effort against Nanaimo, which looked like it was top-notch. I think that it was the best game of the season, despite you guys losing. What do you think?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I found myself saying good job, great job, well done on the bench a lot more than I have all year. And they did a lot of great things. I mean, we talked in the room after, hey, we have to find a way to start producing some more offensively. And I know you and I talked about it before the game, and we got to give our goaltenders some support and some, getting home runs in baseball. You need to give your pitcher some support, and we're not going to win a lot of games by scoring 2 goals. But if you can get 51 shots, and you're usually on a night going to get more than 2.
Now, I kind of debated this with myself today because I didn't have a color commentator, but from your perspective as a coach, is it more frustrating and more heartbreaking to lose a game like this than if you went to overtime maybe and it was an even fought kind of game? Is this the most heartbreaking game, or is this one where you kind of just throw it out and say good job and move on?
Yeah, they're really tough to take, obviously, but I think you really got to encourage the guys with the fact that, hey, if this were to happen 10 times, you're going to win 9 out of 10 of them. So if we can put this effort together for the next 8 games, we're going to win all games. And you know what? You got to really try your best to keep them positive. And I thought the way we finished the game was an indication of the lack of frustration. I mean, we kept going, kept driving the net. We didn't try to get fancy. We didn't try to get cute. And a couple of guys who had the most chances tonight have been marred in scoring slumps. And they're going to get one or two, and then they'll feel the confidence, and all these chances they start getting, they'll start putting pucks in the net. So I'm not in a panic to go out there prior to the deadline and go search for a goal scorer. I'm fully confident in the guys we have. You look at some of the chances Harper had tonight, and once we get his groove going, he's going to start to score a lot of goals.
And if you look at the silver lining a little bit, despite the fact that, you guys have, lost now this hockey game, come playoff time, if the team plays like this, no matter who you face, chances are you're not going to get into the top 5 with being 13 points back of those guys. So the loss in the standings doesn't really mean much, but come playoff time, if your team plays like this, I'm sure the whole team up and down the roster is confident they can beat anybody in a playoff series.
Well, with our goaltending, I think if we're giving up 15 shots a night, we should get a shutout most nights. And, I'd take this effort any night, regardless if it's playoffs or regular season, whatever. I mean,